Young lady, you're gonna have to figure out how you want to do this. You're here on a DV charge or DV type charge. You got resisting and obstructing. You're not following the court's rules. Has her 9mm been surrendered?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
To what is another violation of the court's order. I mean, just the call itself. I mean, I could even understand if there were a few calls regarding the kids because she can't text because of the position that I can get that. 41?
It's a large number of calls, Your Honor. I understand the question.
I made a mistake and I'm sorry. And if I do get out or when I get out, I'll store community corrections phone number in my phone. When I wake up every day for my kids to go to school, I'll make sure I call first thing in the morning. I'll quit smoking weed. And I'm sorry. But if I'm in here any longer, I'm gonna lose everything. My 401k, my health benefits. I need to get back to my kids. I miss them, they miss me. They don't even know I'm in jail. I told them I was on vacation because I don't want them to know.
Why'd you do this? I don't.
Sorry.
But why?
Today we have an update on the ongoing saga of the obsessive female defendant who had her bond revoked and then tried to call the victim 41 times from jail. Mind you, this is the same victim that she had a court-ordered no-contact provision with. In previous uploads, we witnessed the young woman's descent as she faced a bond violation and was subsequently remanded to jail. This was due to her persistent actions and refusal to admit the truth about it. Now, as we return for the third installment of this courtroom drama, there appears to be a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. The defendant, once defiant and unyielding, stands before Judge Simpson with a newfound sense of humility and remorse. She finally seems to have realized the gravity of her situation, recognizing the devastating impact her actions have wrought upon her career and family. So she is here today humbled before Judge Simpson, begging him to re-release her on bond again so that she can at least piece together some semblance of her life, as she awaits her trial or some other resolution of this case. But the real question today is, will Judge Simpson give her another chance to fight this DV case from the outside? Let's find out.
Calls the case of the people versus Julie Vontrepon.
Mr. Assistant Public Defender appearing on behalf of Ms. Vampachan. Ms. Vampachan, please state your name for the record.
Julie Vampachan.
Thank you, Judge. I believe we are here. I think the court set this matter for a bond review prior to her preliminary examination that is apparently in about a week and a half.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I was not here at the last one, but my understanding is that the issue raised at that time was surrounding phone calls to the complaining witness in the MDOP case.
Well, so that you're up to date, the original remand was because of missed drug testing and really lying to the court about things. We're going to get to the next hearing, and I set it a week out in hopes that maybe there could be some understanding, but then she goes into custody and then begins to violate another court order by not just a few calls like the last hearing we just had, but 41 calls in that week's, which I didn't even understand that.
Yes, Judge. And so my colleague who had the case at that time has had a lot of chance to review all of those 41 phone calls, and he had a chance to meet with Ms. Vampachan and discuss the nature of that with Ms. Vampachan. My understanding is the complaining witness on that case is also present here in the courtroom today. And so there's a lot of things, I guess, to address, Judge. The first one being that I think she was allowed to have contact with the complaining witness if it were about the minor children, but by text message, not by phone call. Obviously, these calls, she's not denying she made them. She's not denying that they had conversations. My understanding from my colleague who listened to the phone calls is that the bulk of them conversation was about the minor children. And I spoke to the complainant who was in the hallway. He indicates there's a correction I need to make on the record. There was some confusion about who actually had custody or possession of the minor children, and that her sister might have had the minor children. He says that he has the minor children. He says that her sister only has the minor children when he goes to work. So for the bulk of the day and night, he has the minor children. And so he says that their conversations centered around those minor children. And so I guess I need to make that clear for the record as well, because
41 of them.
I mean, like I said, the bulk of them were about the minor children. Some of it was just conversation that ranged outside of the children that she should not have done, Judge. But she sat in jail for the last 2 weeks. She'll tell you, if you give her a chance later on, she'll tell you what she learned during this time period. Since last week, you revoked her phone privileges. She has had no phone calls clearly through her account because you revoked her privileges, and there are no phone calls through any other account. She did not try to go around the court's order. She heard what the court said. She has had no contact with the complaining witness. She understands where she messed up, and she's hoping the court will reconsider her bond situation, Your Honor. And the complaining witness in the MDOP case is here, and he is asking, I believe he's reached out to the victim advocate, and he is asking the court to drop the no contact order on the MDOP file. The other file is a ARNO with police officers, and so she will have no contact with them regardless, Your Honor. But she is asking you to please consider reinstating her personal bond. As the court already knows, she has 2 minor children. She was the primary person who watched those children while her significant other worked and supported the family. She also had her own job where she worked as a stock keeper for the University of Michigan. She's been in that role for over 15 years. If the court might remember, she missed about 3 weeks of work due to being hospitalized with pneumonia. Now she's missed another 2 weeks of work due to her lying to the court. And so she's trying to get back to work, keep that job that she's had for over 15 years. She's trying to get back to her children, trying to get back to her family. And I think she can tell you honestly, she sees where lying gets her. And it's not going to happen if the court gives her an opportunity. And I think she understands when the court issues an order, it's not a suggestion. And she will follow your orders from here on out, or she'll spend the next however long in jail. And she never wants to be back in jail. This has not been a good experience for her, Judge. But she admits to the violations of both the phone and
What did you want to tell me, young lady?
I wanted to say that I'm sorry for violating bond conditions and lying. And the 41 phone calls were about my kids, finances, things that I didn't get to take care of before being in jail. Work, daily life, and jail conditions. I never threatened or intimidated or told them anything for me. I never talked about the case. And I'm a mother. I miss my kids, even if I didn't talk to them on every call. Even just hearing their voices in the background made me get through my day. I made a mistake and I'm sorry. And if I do get out, or when I get out, I'll store community corrections phone number in my phone. When I wake up every day for my kids to go to school, I'll make sure I call first thing in the morning. I'll quit smoking weed. I'm sorry. And I've been at my job for 15 years. I missed a lot of work. I'm about fired. I can possibly get my job back. But if I'm in here any longer, I'm going to lose everything. My 401k, my health benefits. I need to get back to my kids. I miss them. They miss me. They don't even know I'm in jail. I told them I was on vacation because I don't want them to know.
Why did you do this?
Sorry.
But why? I mean, when you came here the first time, not the very first time, but when we got the bond violation report, I mean, you just be straight up about it.
I was scared to tell you that I was smoking. I was stressed out, like, due to this case. I'd never been in trouble. I'd never been in jail.
You know, what was really problematic about it is you started to lie and you were really talking through your attorney, but I don't think you even realized what you were saying didn't make any sense. And it didn't make any sense with what was in the violation report. I mean, that's how I could tell that you were lying. And then even on that, you just kept it going. And I don't know where you thought you were going to end up in the end. If you thought you were going to be successful in it, you weren't.
I understand. Now I know, and I learned. Sitting here thinking for 2 weeks, I learned.
For what?
For lying.
Tell them what you've been doing in jail.
I've attended church. I've been cleaning inmate cells when they're leaving. I started a women's group, and I've just been trying to keep busy.
And you know, then when you came back that next week, last week, because of the way that the contact provision reads, one of the things I said to myself was, had there been 2-3 calls a day, frankly, ma'am, I would have excused that. And the reason I would have excused that is because you were permitted to text regarding your kids. But you can't do that from the jail. So I would have said, okay, I get it. She's just trying to keep that connect. And I probably would have just let that slide. But you can imagine that all of a sudden, when the prosecutor tells me there's 41 calls. How old are your kids?
5 and 6.
Obviously, in some way, ma'am, you could keep yourself together, haven't been in trouble, haven't done anything. I don't know why you decided to do this. I hope more than anything that the one thing that you figured out is, first of all, trying to lie to the court is not the way to go. I can deal, people come here every day. I can deal with people that do sort of messed up things and don't make the right call if they're straight up with me. The worst thing is, and I'm sure, and I would hope that this is what you're teaching your kids, you don't lie, and then when they're caught, they just double down on the lie. That never gets anybody anywhere. Do you still have your job?
I don't know. They told me that I wasn't allowed to miss any more days after I came back from being sick.
As to the violations that she admits to, is there anything, Mr. Peach, you want to say before I sentence her on the violations?
It's been a long day, Judge. Just to briefly reiterate, she's got her kids, she's had her job, she's sorry, she's a proud woman, and she didn't want to admit she was scared, and she lied at the one place you can't lie. She understands that now, and I think it will never happen again, Judge.
I hope you still have your job. Defendant having admitted to the violations, I'll sentence the defendant to 14 days, Washington County Jail credit, 14 served. Her previous bond is reinstated at $10,000 personal recognizance bond. All of the conditions that were originally set remain in place. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
You need to get back on your testing. Just everybody has stress, right? Just find another way to deal with it. Make your tests, just do your test and sort of walk yourself through this case and get it done.
Yes.
All right.
Corrections. Yeah. Get out to, if get out today, they probably be closed. But if not, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. Everything.
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.